Hey there, Pokemon fans. Pokemon Professor Garrison here. Welcome to the first ever episode of Pokédex Spotlight, a weekly series where we'll take an in-depth look at various Pokemon and their evolutions. Today we'll be starting off with the first 3 Pokédex entries. So let's get started. Pokédex number 001 through 003, the Bulbasaur Evolutionary Chain. Pokemon number 1, Bulbasaur, the Seed Pokemon. Along with Charmander and Squirtle, Bulbasaur is one of the starter Pokemon of Kanto. Bulbasaur is the only unevolved dual starter Pokemon, being both poison and grass type. This Pokemon stands on 4 legs and reaches an average height of 2 foot 4 inches. Or 0.7 meters, and weighs around 15 pounds, or 7 kilograms. According to the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Pokédex entry, Bulbasaur can be seen napping in the bright sunlight. By soaking up the sun's rays, the seed grows progressively larger. Bulbasaur's appearance may be based on some form of reptile, specifically a mammal-like reptile from the Permian period known as a Dicynodont. Dicynodonts were small to large herbivorous animals with 2 tusks, hence their name, which means 2-dog tooth. Okay, so maybe Bulbasaur doesn't have tusks. But I mean, tusks aside, look at that thing. Slap a bulb on top, you got yourself a Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur has also been compared to amphibians as well. With its large rounded snout, wide mouth, wide-set eyes, blotched skin pattern, and quadruped-like movements, it is very similar to certain amphibians, such as the common toad. Since Bulbasaur's ears do not in fact have holes, they may actually be similar to the glands present behind the eyes of many species of frogs and toads. The bulb on Bulbasaur's back is very similar to that of a lily or an onion. Bulbasaur's name is a combination of bulb, a rounded underground storage organ present in some plants, notably those in the lily family, and saur, ancient Greek for lizard. In the Pokemon anime, Bulbasaur were found in the grasslands and forests throughout the Kanto region, but due to Bulbasaur's status as a starter Pokemon, they are extremely hard to come by in the wild. Baby Bulbasaur are raised by breeders to be given out to new trainers. Having been domesticated from birth, Bulbasaur are seen as both rare and well-behaved Pokemon. It is known to be extremely loyal, even after long-term abandonment. Bulbasaur has also shown itself to be an excellent caretaker, even having a special technique called the Bulbabai. To perform this technique, Bulbasaur uses its vines to pick up a young Pokemon and soothingly rocks it to sleep. Every year, in a hidden garden in the Kanto region, many Bulbasaur appear to become Ivysaur in a ceremony led by a Venusaur. Bulbasaur's bulb will flash blue when it is ready to evolve. If it does not want to evolve, it struggles to resist the transformation. Bulbasaur's evolution family is the only starter evolution family to have each member appear in at least one Super Smash Bros. Series. Bulbasaur was also featured on a coin released in Niue, an island country in the South Pacific Ocean. These $1 coins featured Bulbasaur and others as part of a commemorative promotion for the Pokémon franchise, with Bulbasaur on the one side and the nation's coat of arms on the other. Pokémon number 2, Ivysaur. Ivysaur evolves from Bulbasaur starting at level 16. The bulb on its back has bloomed into a flower bud, surrounded by leafy green fronds. This Pokemon stands on 4 legs and reaches an average height of 3 foot 3 inches, or 1 meter, and weighs around 29 pounds, or 13 kilograms. According to the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Pokédex entry, there is a bud on this Pokemon's back. To support its weight, Ivysaur's legs and trunk grow thick and strong. If it starts spending more time lying in the sunlight, it's a sign that the bud will bloom into a large flower soon. When its bulb is ready to bloom, it gives off a distinct, strong, sweet-smelling aroma and starts swelling. In the Pokemon anime, Ivysaur is said to manipulate nature. In Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Ivysaur is a playable character. He is one of 3 Pokemon used by Pokemon Trainer. Ivysaur is a middleweight character and uses mostly physical and grass-type attacks. Bullet Seed as a standard special move, Vine Whip as a recovery move, Razor Leaf as a projectile attack, and in the Pokemon Trainer's Final Smash Triple Finish, Ivysaur uses Solar Beam. Unlike Bulbasaur, Ivysaur's ears do in fact have holes. This indicates that they are in fact ears, and not the glands present in frogs and toads. The root word of this Pokemon is Ivy, a genus of plants known for their woody climbing or trailing vines. Pokemon number 3, Venusaur. Venusaur evolves from Ivysaur starting at level 32. The bud on its back has now bloomed into a large pink white spotted flower. The flower is now supported by a thick brown trunk, surrounded by green fronds which have grown since evolution. This Pokemon stands on 4 legs and reaches an average height of 6 foot 7 inches, or 2 meters, and weighs around 220 pounds, or 100 kilograms. Yes, Venusaur is a very big Pokemon. According to the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Pokédex entry, there is said to be a large flower on Venusaur's back. The flower is said to take on vivid colors if it gets plenty of nutrition and sunlight. The flower's aroma soothes the emotions of people. Unlike its previous evolutions, there are differences between the two genders of Venusaur. A female Venusaur will have a seed in the center of its flower. Venusaur is the version mascot of both Pokemon Green and Pokemon Leaf Green, appearing on the box art of both games. Venusaur shares its size with another grass-type Pokemon, Tropius. Both have a height of 6 foot 7 inches and a weight of 220.5 pounds. The flower on Venusaur's back resembles the Rafflesia arnoldi. This plant has been noted for producing the largest individual flower on Earth, and lives as a parasite on the tetrastigma vine, which grows only in primary undisturbed rainforest. It has a very strong and horrible odor of decaying flesh, earning it the nickname Corpse Flower. This scent attracts insects such as flies, which then pollinate the rare plant. Not exactly the aroma that was described in Venusaur's Pokédex entry. The Rafflesia arnoldi grows to a diameter of around 3 feet or 1 meter and weighs up to 24 pounds or 11 kilograms. The root word of Venusaur, Venus, is most likely a reference to the Venus flytrap, a carnivorous plant whose diet consists of insects and arachnids. Since the release of Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, Venusaur now has a Mega Evolution. With the combination of Venusaur's Megastone, Venusaurite, and a Trainer's Keystone, Venusaur becomes As Mega Venusaur, the flower on its back grows even larger, and 2 new pink flowers bloom, one on its forehead and one in its rear. Additional leaves have grown around the flower and are supported by vines that have grown from the base of the flower. Mega Venusaur also develops darker patches of color on its forehead. Its legs and frame have become more sturdy to support the weight of its even bigger flower. When Mega evolved, Venusaur will have the ability Thick Fat. Thick Fat gives the user heat and cold protection, therefore halving the damage taken from Ice type and Fire type moves. Well, that's all I have for today. I hope you had as much fun watching this video as I had making it. If you like what you've seen so far, don't hesitate to click that subscribe button below. Also, find me on Facebook and send me some of your Pokemon Go pictures. They may even end up in my next video. So, for the first time ever, thanks for watching and see you later.